Welcome to a special edition of the G5 Hive. Today we're beefing things up and we're thrilled to be joined by a new podcast, Fat, Fatter, and Fattest, an O-line experience featuring some of the big boys up front holding it down in the trenches for the Wyoming Cowboys, tipping the scales at a combined weight of 945 pounds of grit, muscle, and gridiron glory. Please welcome to the show, left guard Wes King, center Jack Walsh, and right guard Caden Barnett. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you for having me
so much.
Well, awesome. I'm excited to have this conversation. I've been listening to you guys' podcast. It's something I find really entertaining, really enjoyable. And so hopefully we can spread the word about what you guys are doing and get some more college football fans tuned in. But I gotta ask the obvious question. Who's fat? Who's fatter? Who's fattest?
I'm fat.
I'm fatter.
I'm fattest.
When you guys were coming up with a name for the show, was that the first go-to, or
We almost did left, right, center, and then I think fat, fatter, and fattest is the second thing we came up with, and we were we got to do that.
I mean, left, right, center is a great one too, right?
No.
Especially in college.
Well, we wanted to do that one, but then we were like, well, we kind of want to make the podcast food theme, so let's do fat, fatter, and fattest. But it was and I don't even know how we came up with who was which. That just kind of came up as time.
Did we do a poll?
Yeah, we did a poll
on Instagram.
No votes.
I kind of just self-proclaimed fattest because I realized fattest will get the most attention, and I'm a big attention seeker, so.
What gave you guys the idea to kind of start a podcast?
I think it was one day we were at lunch, and lunch used to close at 1:30, and we would find ourselves sitting at the table talking, just us three, till it was 2:30, till they're having to kick us out. And I thought, this would be super fun. I always enjoyed our conversation. I thought other people would like to hear them. So I don't know. We talked about a podcast for 6 months. Me and Jack, I kept walking up to and telling people, hey, we're starting a podcast called Fat and Fattest, just, and we weren't even in the making of it. And then I called our media director, and he's like, yeah, we love it. And then the rest has been history. So
awesome. I happened to catch a few episodes. Do you guys have a favorite moment so far?
Fat Feud is mine. I love doing Fat Feud.
It is good. That's good. That is a good one.
Honestly, my favorite part is interviewing Dave or Coach E or Coach Tripodi, that you kind of you see a different side of them that
sure
you don't always see. So
yeah, we've definitely been nervous about certain interviews, just given people's personalities, but luckily they definitely opened up really well.
I assume the reaction's been positive from teammates and from coaches.
Oh yeah, they love it for sure.
Are they all fighting to be the next guest or the next interview?
Yeah, we've had some people want to.
I don't know about that, but
we've had some people want to come on, but others are like, "Oh yeah, sure, I'll be on it." I'm like, "Oh, sure, more excited."
Do you guys plan to continue doing the podcast in season, or to take a break, or
kind of take that as it goes? I think we're gonna try and pre-record some episodes in case we get too busy, but we're not quite sure about that yet.
Yeah, we're trying to figure it out. I guess we'll see.
Yeah,
I want to pre-record them and be able to release them, but I don't know. That's going to be hard. I would love to.
We'll figure that out.
I would love to.
You guys maybe did the bye weeks line up where you have a good split in the season where you could record a couple, or
that's what we're thinking
about by week 2. So
awesome. Well, moving over to some football. Did you guys play any other sports when you were growing up?
I played basketball and baseball all the way up through high school, and then after freshman year, I stopped playing baseball. I made the B team, and wasn't as fun.
What?
I had 5 stolen bases, and I was 275 pounds, so that was really impressive. And I figured, let's retire after that moment. And then I continued with basketball all the way till I was done with high school, and then obviously just stuck with football after that.
I played soccer and basketball when I was really little, and then once I got into like high school, um, it was wrestling, powerlifting, shot and disc, and football. I would say probably wrestling was my second best, except the way I wrestled was pin or be pinned. I, I was gonna, I was yeah. I never looked at the points, which is very common for wrestling. So.
I grew up playing hockey most like when I was younger, and then once I got to middle school and high school, I switched and I started playing football and wrestling, and I played rugby in the spring.
Would do you think wrestling really kind of helped you guys in terms of like offensive line play, just understanding leverage and
Yeah,
and
for
that sort
sure.
of thing?
Completely. I think you understand balance a lot more. You learn a lot about balance in wrestling because if you're leaning one way too much, you're going to fall out. So that's helped a lot in pass pro. And then I think just like, leverage has been a big thing too. So,
You guys have nicknames other than Fat, Fatter, and Fattest?
my nickname's Vanilla Gorilla.
How'd you get it?
Actually, I used to go by Caucasian Persuasion. But then I was talking to a coach, and he was like, "Oh, I've never heard of that one, but I've heard of Vanilla Gorilla." And I heard Vanilla Gorilla, and I was like, "Okay, that's my new nickname. That is sick." And so that happened probably sophomore year of high school, and then I was self-proclaimed, and then it's kind of caught on a little bit. So
Well, after he says it 1,000 times,
no, it took me saying it 1,000 times, but it stuck.
Yeah, we figured, all right, fine, we'll say it.
You have a nickname, Jack?
Yeah, Vanilla Armadillo. No, I'm just kidding.
I thought your nickname was the Hefty Lefty.
We can go with that. Yeah,
No,
I am left-handed and everything, so the Hefty Lefty could work. One nickname I was given, it's probably the only one I was ever given, when I was playing youth baseball. Instead of putting our last names on the jerseys, the coaches came up with nicknames for us to put on them, and mine was Big Train. So, Big Train, Hefty Lefty, Fatter.
I'll never be calling you Big Train.
Yeah,
You know that.
Yeah, so that's about it.
Wes, what about you?
I don't really have a nickname now. When I was younger, they called me Lenny from A Mice and Men. I'm happy that one fell off a little bit. I hated that one.
My dad's nickname.
So,
Well, college football has changed a lot with NIL and the transfer portal. What are you guys' takes on those changes, for better or worse, and kind of how have they impacted your experience in college football?
it's definitely different, but it's one of those things where there's no going back. So you kind of just have to adjust to the times. Jack, anything?
I thought Caden was going to go next. It's definitely really interesting. You know, when I look at the transfer portal, there's just so many variables out there that, and questions you have that you really can't get answered. And, it's a risky deal. And, I don't think it's the greatest thing for college football. I've loved my time in Wyoming, and I just obviously, couldn't imagine myself anywhere else. And, and I'm very proud of sticking it out. And, I think it's just a really crazy time, and, it is what it is.
Yeah, I don't think the grass is always greener on the other side. And my favorite part about college football is like the culture and the loyalty of like, this is my team. I'll bleed and die for my team. And I think that all this NIL and transfer portal stuff has kind of dimmed that light a little bit. So I don't like that. But like they said, it's what's happening. So it's kind of like got to adjust to what's happening.
As players, like, I know, like, as a fan, like, to me, it's just like, I think, the transfer portal has a place, but it's also frustrating, like, that it's open twice a year now. And actually, this year, I guess it's 3 times now. And just like, is that frustrating as a player too? Like, having to deal with that uncertainty that many times.
Yeah, I mean it's really different when people are coming in and out, meeting a lot of new guys, but also saying bye to guys a lot of them you really liked, and it sucked to see them leave. But I mean, whatever our team is, that's the team we're gonna have to be. So gotta adjust to what you're given, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. It would help with some resiliency, right? Like, and that sort of thing. Um, when you guys were being recruited, what was your favorite part of the process and what was your least favorite part?
Well, honestly, my entire recruiting kind of sucked because it was really, mine and Canes was in the heart of COVID. So, I didn't take any official visits. I didn't take really anything. I actually had visits scheduled, and then I'm pretty sure a week later is when the lockdown happened and everything. So it was challenging because, coaches that called you, visited you at your high school, once the lockdown happened, they stopped calling you, stopped texting you. So it was pretty brutal. But luckily Wyoming knew about me, and then they gave me a chance, and I was just very blessed and fortunate to have that.
Yeah, I mean, same for me. It was so different. It was such a weird time. Not being able to do because in Texas we do spring football every year. We actually have a spring game and stuff. So not being able to do that, that's when a lot of coaches will come look at you, and then so you have all these coaches that are like, okay, well I like this guy, but I need to see him in person. That are like, okay, well I'm not looking at him anymore. So it definitely affected it. But looking back, I mean, I'm very blessed it worked out that way because I ended up in Wyoming and I've loved it here. So I think this is the best thing that could happen to me. Um, so that's probably the worst was COVID, and my favorite was coming to Wyoming.
How about you, Wes?
Mine was different. I obviously got to visit places. I think that was my favorite part. I went on 2 visits, and I also went to camps and just seeing different universities. It was really cool for me. My least favorite was Jack and Caden know this. I'm bad about texting, and I'm not a big fan of being on my phone, so I didn't enjoy that.
What advice?
Second that. I think the small talk through texting, that's just the worst. I hated it.
What advice would you give high school players navigating the recruiting process today?
I would say just don't worry about it as much as you think you should. Just go out and play your game, and coaches will find you if you're playing well. Spend less time worrying about the next level and be in the moment.
I would say when it comes to looking deciding what school you want to go to, you cannot base it off the coaching because I mean coaches come and go all the time. And even though you'll really love a coach, he could get a great opportunity somewhere else or be forced to leave. So I don't know. I would probably say go with the culture. I mean, I think for me at least, culture was such a big aspect, and it's why I've loved it here so much.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Caden completely. I mean, me and Caden, we had 3 O-line coaches technically our freshman year. The guy who recruited both of us left after we signed our letter of intent. Then we had another guy for 2 weeks. He left, and then we, finally got a guy for our freshman year. So, choosing it based off the culture, obviously, and I would say, don't stress out about it too much. You only get recruited to play college football once. Enjoy the process. Be excited about coaches hitting you up. Want to come visit you at school. It's a really exciting time, and you just got to really take it all in.
When you guys are in the film room, kind of watching either yourselves or either other offensive linemen, what specific traits or techniques do you kind of try to focus on the most?
I big thing is get off. Just how do they get off the ball? How do they finish the block? Just I think the first thing you grade is effort wise. Are they giving it everything they have? And then it's what are their hands doing? Where are their feet? And how are they using their hips? Is what I would say.
I'm big about looking at their hands, how fast people can throw them, where they throw them, and how they use them, and how they get themselves in either a good situation or recover from a bad situation using them.
Yeah, it's O-line's a very technical position because if your technique's off, you can get embarrassed by a big D tackle. So having tight elbows and having your hips in is really crucial.
I want to give you guys an opportunity to kind of shout out some of your teammates. Who are some of the guys that you think fans need to keep an eye on for the Cowboys this upcoming season?
Teron Kelman.
Teron Kelman. One, Gary Rutherford,
Gary's a big one.
linebacker. He was on scout team last year.
Yeah.
He was one of those dudes where it's like if there's one play where you're not bringing it everything you got, he could find that weakness. He's a dog.
Yeah, we got a lot of new guys on the defense. That'll be really exciting. Another guy, he's a true freshman actually, Deion DeBlanc. He's a wide receiver. He's gonna be a really good player for us. But yeah, Braden Johnson, another guy, is linebacker. He just transferred in actually. He'll be a really good player for us. And we're excited about a lot of new guys that we brought in. They're good players. They work hard. They're humble. So a lot to be excited about.
Who's the toughest defensive player you guys have lined up against? And it doesn't have to necessarily be an opponent. If there's someone in practice that you lined up against, and what made it such a challenge?
Oof. I would say for our team, Ben Florentine gives me the most trouble. He's a little bit shorter than me, so I have to get extra low, or he will really embarrass me. As for opponent-wise, I was definitely when we played Texas in 23. They had T'Vondre Sweat, who's 6'6", 360. He was a lot to deal with.
I think opponent-wise, Muhammad Kamara. He was a defensive end for
Colorado State. Yeah.
And that was like my first year truly starting, and I had never met somebody so explosive, and he just had relentless effort. So that was pretty tough. Came away with that one though, barely. But and then in practice, probably Chad Muma. I just remember being on scout team going against Chad Muma and not knowing what to do. I remember one time actually, the chart showed he was blitzing, and so you, as the lineman, you go look. It says, okay, this guy's blitzing this guy. So I knew, okay, I'm cutting him off, and I cut him off, and he still knocked me back, but I kind of stopped him a little bit. And he came up to me at lunch the next day, and he was like, "Hey, did that card say that I was blitzing?" And I was like, "No, it didn't. I just saw you." And I just remember him putting me on my ass so many times.
I think underrated is Dante Drake. He's a good player. He has great hands and technique. I have a good time going against him. It's fun.
If you guys could pancake one rival defender in slow motion for a highlight reel, who would that be?
Wow.
Or it could be anybody. It can be anybody. It can be an NFL player.
I think just any person from CSU, probably. Any single one.
Honestly, if I could have pancaked T'Vondre Sweat, that would have been the highlight of my life. That would have been nuts. That would have been crazy.
I'm big against Air Force, so probably any of the D tackles from Air Force. That would have been fun for me.
Do you guys have any game day traditions? Speaking of food, specific pregame meals you like to eat, or routines that you have to do on game day, or even music you like to listen to?
I like to listen. I listen to worship music. I like doing that a lot. That just gets me in the flow. And then I got a carb load before, so a lot of pasta. Don't laugh at that.
We can tell.
I listen to only 2 songs on game day, and then I don't really listen to any music, and it's In the Air Tonight by Phil Collins, and then awesome. for Whom the Bell Tolls by Metallica, and then that's it. That's all I need.
I don't really have a pregame ritual. I don't listen to music or anything like that.
When you guys aren't playing football, And you're not doing the podcast. What other hobbies or passions do you have? What do you like to do with your free time?
Golfing. Big golfer. I
Yeah.
love
What's your
golfing.
handicap?
I am a 19 handicap, so I'm not that great.
Hey, I'm right there with you, bud. I'm right
Basically, what I do is I hit 1 or 2 shots that brings me back to the course the next day.
Yeah.
That's my golf game in a nutshell.
Absolutely.
I'm a big movie or TV show guy, and then I play video games too.
Like,
I'm a big movie guy as well. Me and Caden send movies back and forth, like recommendations. So pretty much just movies and shows.
do you have something you really like right now, whether it's a recent movie or a show?
Well, I'm basically for the rest of my life will probably always just be rewatching The Sopranos, and then watching shows in between. That's just my go-to.
I'm rewatching all the Jurassic Parks right now. So
New one's coming out, right?
yep, watch that one. So it was a good time. It was good. You should watch it.
You talk about video games. All you guys play video games. Have you played the new college football video game, the one that just came out this week, College Football 26?
Yeah, me and Jack are in a dynasty actually with a few other players on the team. Not too hot right now, not doing too good, but we're gonna figure out the problem. We'll be better next season.
Yeah, I'm currently the head coach at West Virginia. We just lost a heartbreaker on the road at SMU by 3. Bad coaching, defensively wise.
Was that Markey? I beat Markey, right? Oh.
Oh, well, I was on the road. He's 11th ranked in the country, underdogs. And I went up 21-7, and I got too confident, blitzed too much, and he took advantage of it. But, I trust my guys, and we'll be better as time goes on. But, yeah.
You guys PlayStation or Xbox?
Xbox.
I'm PlayStation.
Well, I think this year you can have crossplay, right? Like when in Dynasty. I think I had crossplay last year, but I think this year, like, it doesn't matter, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, no, I'm going to make sure next season of I don't play Caden this year, but I'll make sure next year that he's going to be on my schedule. So
I will run the ball every single play.
Well, it's going to be a free win for me, but
to the deep end.
It will also be the quickest game because me and Caden, our strategies are to drain the clock and give our opponent the least amount of opportunity.
My strategy, like I don't have the new one. I have the 25 game is like score a bunch of points, right, and then just constantly blitz. But there's like I don't know if they're in the new game, but there's so many like cheat code like plays, like the direct snap to the halfback. Like you're not stopping that, right? Like he's at least getting 5-6 yards every time.
Our quarterback Caden Anderson, I played against him, and he constantly just runs these RPOs, and I have no idea how to defend them, and he constantly just keeps doing it, and it's ridiculous because he won't throw the ball downfield because he's got a freshman quarterback playing, so that pissed me off.
Yeah, the running quarterback, and like you said, those RPO plays, they're definitely hard to defend. Like, I don't know, it just feels like kind of like a cheat code for sure. You guys happy with your ratings in the game?
I am.
Obviously, I'm competitive, so it pisses me off that Jack's better than me. But it's what it is. Got to prove myself this year, I guess.
Yeah, fair rankings across the board. I think they did. NCAA college football. They know what they're talking about. They got it right.
You guys have a favorite play in the game? Favorite offensive play?
4 verticals.
I love speed option. I run that a lot. I'm a speed option guy.
I'm inside zone or middle slants. That's.
Can you move your leg, dude?
We're sharing a screen.
You're rubbing up against me.
All right. Maybe we'll get some more fun questions here and some food questions. An all-you-can-eat buffet challenge. Who taps out first? And who is still going an hour later?
We know this immediately.
Wes is tapping out first.
We did a rib eating contest, and I've never been so confident and to do so terrible in front of people. It was awful.
Wes would tap out first, and I would destroy.
No,
No, you would not. No, you would not.
How many ribs you guys eat in the rib eating contest?
Yeah, it's
Wes didn't even get a pound. Wes got 0.9 pounds of ribs.
I guess technically I ate 0.
Well, Caden wasn't there.
I wasn't in the rib eating contest.
This is a sore subject for him. But I got 2.1 pounds. So
Now, were they sliced up for you, or like the whole rack?
They were sliced up for us.
It's just sad.
Did they taste good? Were they good?
yeah,
Oh, they were
really
amazing.
good ribs. Shout out Dickies.
Yeah.
Good ribs.
All right. If the Wyoming offensive line had an official snack sponsor, who would it be?
Bugles.
No.
You
Don't say no. Snack. That's hard, actually. I'm just any type of chip. Like what?
Sunflower chips.
No.
Those
mean
good.
sun chips? Not
Sun chips. Yeah, sun.
I don't know because like
I
a
think
quarter pounder
Cheez It would be Cheez It.
Oh.
Ooh, I could get behind Cheez-Its.
Okay, I'll go. I think Cheez Its would. That's just I don't know why that fits our group. We're dots like the
Or we could just go like general, like a brand, and then everybody just chooses.
All right.
I'm with Cheez-Its though.
All right, Cheez It.
All right, we'll go Cheez Its.
Cheez It.
You like the original Cheez-Its, or you like some of the different flavors, or
Extra toasty.
Extra toasty. Wow. I just like to eat. I mean, I'll eat any of them.
Yeah.
I have a problem with like snacks, like a bag of chips, crackers, anything like that. If you put it in my lap and put something on the screen, I will find the bottom in no time. It's a problem.
You're emptying it all out there.
We could tell.
I found something recently that I really like. It's a Little Debbie. It's a Nutty Buddy, but it's a cookie, like it's chocolate covered. Like I haven't seen them where I live, but I was in New York recently and saw them there, and I bought a couple boxes and brought them home. Like if you like peanut butter, like if you can find them out there in Wyoming, they're pretty damn good.
Yeah, no, you had me a cookie. You had me a cookie.
It's like a Nutty Buddy, like those peanut butter bars, but like in a cookie form. Like I think it's even better. But yeah, what's your favorite thing to eat? Like if you could pick anything in the world, like this is like my go-to, is my favorite thing to eat.
Oh,
I mean, mine's a toss-up between chicken wings and steak. A nice medium rare ribeye, or I actually love like Thai chili wings. One of those two.
That good. Mine's jambalaya. I love jambalaya.
Okay,
Shrimp and
nice.
chicken and sausage. That would be it forever.
cheeseburgers all the way.
I can't imagine like it's easy to find jambalaya up there in Wyoming.
No, you gotta make it yourself.
Well, speaking of campus, do you guys have a favorite restaurant or go-to restaurant that's near campus or in town?
JSI.
I feel like it's
JSI is small.
O line though, Borner Barn.
It's got to be Borner Barn. They got some good wings. They got peanut butter jelly wings that are off the charts.
Yeah.
So good.
I would say
Library's good. There's a bunch of good joints, local joints here for sure.
Well, if the Boar and the Barn's listening, hopefully they can hook you guys up with some kind of NIL deal. I mean, like, what kind of like better advertisement can you get than the fatter and fattest, right? Like,
That's what we've been saying.
I've actually had peanut butter and jelly wings, and they were peanut butter and strawberry jelly, and like I didn't think they were gross, but I probably wouldn't order them again. They were just okay, like, but it legit tasted like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I thought like it was gonna be weird with the chicken thrown in, but like it just tasted like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich to me.
Yeah.
You guys have any hidden talents that the world needs to know about, or maybe a secret talent that a teammate has?
I know a few card tricks.
I'm pretty funny. Like, I think I could be a stand-up comedian probably. I can also stick my stomach out really far. I thought that was a talent. Okay.
No.
That's it for me. Oh, I chess. I'm pretty good at chess.
I like chess. Yeah, chess is fun.
Yeah, I like chess.
Wow, that makes me feel dumb. I don't know how to play chess.
I don't either. I don't either, Jack.
The shoe fits.
More of just a checkers guy.
What would you say the toughest part of playing college football is, especially for younger players that want to play on the college level?
Probably the mindset. I think it really takes a while to develop, and most guys don't get it until their second or third year when it finally starts to click. And I think it's probably the biggest thing.
I think just the daily grind. I mean, it's a full-time job. There's not a day where you're not doing something, and that can get tolling physically and mentally. So going back to the mindset of no matter how I'm feeling, I have an end goal in mind that I'm going to do whatever I can to achieve. So.
Yeah, I would agree with Wes. Like the mindset, it's just like you can't really ever take it easy being a football player. Like you just, like you have to show up at practice, being ready to go. Getting the job done every single play. Every play has a life of its own. So just that mindset of doing your job every play.
We've got a couple of fun questions here, and we'll get you guys out of here. If you were to describe your playing style using a movie title, what would it be?
I have two. I have either Real Steel or Marmaduke because I'm a dog.
All right. I have also two. I was either going to do Rush Hour because I love run blocking and I'm going to run through your face, or King Kong because if I get my hands on you.
All right.
I actually have two as well. First one, Gladiator, self-explanatory, and Any Given Sunday.
You guys have talked about run blocking and pass blocking. Do you have a preference, run blocking or pass blocking?
Wes loves the pass block. Run blocking for me.
Yeah, mine's run blocking. I love run blocking.
What makes, or why do you like it better, I guess?
Run blocking, I can just explode off the ball and run through somebody. It's kind of like I control what's happening.
Sure, you're the dictator.
Yeah, pass blocking, I've learned to love it. I used to hate it, but I love it now, but I just love run blocking more. Pass blocking is more reactive. Yeah.
Run blocking's fun, and I enjoy doing it, but I really do. I like pass block. It's a little bit of finesse. It's like a dance.
Well, it just sucks. Like pass blocking, you have to like back up and let these guys just run at you. Like you're on the defensive and you're just set up for failure. So run blocking, you just get to go at them.
All right. Would you rather have a season where the offensive line only gives up 5 sacks, or you have a 1,000-yard rusher behind you?
Really?
I'm taking 5 sacks. I think with Caden Anderson back there, that'd be good business for us.
I do agree with that. I think that you usually can base off how the line is based off of how are they protecting their QB. I mean, that's our number one job. So obviously I love to run the ball, but want to keep Caden Anderson doing his thing as much as we can.
I would say 1,000-yard rusher. That'd be sick, because running backs, rushing 1,000 yards, that's just a reflection of the O-line doing their job.
Way to be different. Right. That was good, Jack. Good stuff.
That's exactly, yeah. No,
yeah, you're awesome, dude.
I'm different.
No, you're sick.
You're stuck in a cabin during a Wyoming snowstorm. Who's in charge of entertainment? Who's in charge of food? And who's building the fire?
I want to build the fire.
I think Wes would build the fire. I think Jack would get the food.
You know
I think I'd be the entertainment.
That was pretty easy.
What kind
I'm pretty entertaining. So,
what kind of food you bringing, Jack?
He's gonna say some dumb
I'll probably just bring some steaks for the guys. Hook them up good. Some steaks. We'll get baked potatoes. We'll throw a salad in there for Wes.
Oh. The hell does that mean? Yeah.
You know what it means.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Last question. Coach Savell comes in and says, "No need for pads today, boys. Grab your running shoes. We're doing laps." What position group does your mind immediately go to that caused it?
Any skill position.
Yeah, I guess any skill.
Any single skill position.
Immediately looking at the wide receivers, though.
Wide receivers, corners, safeties, one of those crew.
They're all just a bunch of characters, but
Yeah, defensive backs. Like, we ask this question every time, and I like, it's probably like 99% of the time the answer we get is defensive backs.
Yeah.
We've interviewed defensive backs, and even they said defensive backs. I don't know like what it is about defensive backs, but yeah, they are definitely the most popular answer for that question. Before we let you guys go, I want to give you guys an opportunity to kind of tell fans where they can find Fat, Fatter, and Fattest, and maybe some things you guys have coming up on the show.
Jack?
me. All right. Well, you can find. We do have an Instagram, Fat Fatter Fattest _WYO. That's our Instagram. Our Twitter is capitalized FFF _WYO 72 78 79.
The Instagram is hyperlinks to everything, though.
Yeah,
those
so we got
Instagram
links in our Instagram,
Figure it out
Spotify, Apple Podcasts. We just posted an interview with our head athletic trainer, Dave Kearns. He's been an athletic trainer for 40 years. So, he's got a lot of good insight. But we've also done, interviews with our head strength coach, our O-line coach. So a lot of great stuff we've done with players. So check that out, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. And go follow us. We're almost at 400 followers, so we need like 2 more.
Awesome.
So if 2 people could go follow us on Instagram, that would mean the world.
Well, Wes, Jack, and Caden, thanks so much for joining us. It's been a pleasure getting to know you guys a bit more. We will be listening to Fat, Fatter, and Fattest this season, as well as watching the Cowboys, and look forward to it.
Yes, thank you so much. It's been
Thank
awesome.
you so much.
If you're watching us on YouTube, please hit that like and subscribe button. If you're listening in podcast form, please rate and review on Amazon Music, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts. Thank you all for your support. And until the next time, we are the G5 Hive.